Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nur Shahzani. Okay, in this video, I'm going to explain question 2 from paper June 2018. Amy commutes to work by two different routes, A and B. If she comes home using route A, then she will be home no later than 6 p.m. with probability 0.8. But if she comes using route B, then she will be home no later than 6 p.m. with probability 0.7. In the past, the proportion of times that Amy chose route A is 0.4. So first of all, we need to identify what is A prime, C and C prime. This one, you can change with any alphabet that you want. Okay, and from the information given, we know that probability of A is 0.4, probability of C given A is 0.8, and probability of C given A prime is equal to 0.7. First question, draw a tree diagram for the above information. So we already know from the given information that probability of A is 0.4 and probability of C given A is 0.8 and probability of C given A prime is 0.7. Then the probability of A prime is 1 minus 0.4, then we will get 0.6, and probability of C prime given A is 1 minus 0.8, we will get 0.2, and probability of C prime given A prime is 1 minus 0.7, we will get 0.3. So to find the probability of A intersect C, we need to multiply probability of A with probability of C given A, which is 0.4 times 0.8, then we will get 0.32, same like the others too. Next question, calculate the probability that Amy comes home no later than 6 p.m. So we know that we need to find the probability of C. What we need to do is add all probability that consists of C, which are probability of A intersect C plus probability of A prime intersect C. So this value, you can find it from the tree diagram before. So 0.32 plus 0.42, the answer we will get 0.74. Next, if Amy comes home after 6 p.m. today, calculate the probability that she took route B. So we know that we need to find the probability of A prime given C prime. We can use conditional probability formula, probability of A prime intersect C prime, which is the value that we can get from the tree diagram, and divides by probability of C prime. So how do we know the probability of C prime? We need to add all probability that consists of C prime, which is probability of A intersect C prime plus probability of A prime intersect C prime. Then the answer we will get 0.26. And now we can calculate 0.18 divided by 0.26. It is equal to 0.6923. Last question, calculate the probability that Amy comes home no later than 6 p.m. and she took route A. So we need to find the probability of C intersect A, and this one we can get from the tree diagram, which is probability of A times probability of C given A, and the answer is equal to 0.32. Okay, and that's all from me. Thank you.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Adi Iqbal bin Azizul Firdaus from JCS 143 3C. Next, I will explain how to answer question number 4. Given that fx is equal to k over 2 to the power of x is a probability distribution for a random variable x that can take on the values x equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So for the question for A, show that the value of k is equal to 16 over 31. From the question, we know that this question is a discrete case because the random variable x has a countable number of possible value. Since it is discrete case, so to answer the question, we can construct a table of x and fx and we replace x into the function given. So what we get is probability of x equal to 0 is k, probability of x equal to 1 is k over 2 until we get probability of x equal to 4, that is k over 16. After construct a table, we can calculate the value of k by adding all probability of x and equal it to 1, because we know that the summation of the probability value of PDF is equal to 1. So we get k equal to 16/31. We continue to question 4b. Calculate mean and standard deviation of x. To make it easier, we can replace the value of k into each probability of x. So to calculate mean, we must multiply each value of x with px and add all. So the mean is 26/31. Next, for standard deviation, we can get it from variance of x. So to find it, first we must find expected value of x squared. So we just square each x and times by px, and we get 58/31. And then we apply all value that we get into the formula of variance. So the variance is 1.1675. And then we just square root the variance to get the standard deviation, that is 1.0805. So next, for the question 4c, find the cumulative distribution function of random variable x, hence evaluate p 0 less than x less than and equal to 3. Okay, first, to find CDF, we can construct a table, and for the capital F x column, we add each probability of x. After that, for p0 less than x less than and equal to 3, we look at the table and take the CDF of x equal to 3 minus x equal to 0. So the answer is 14/31.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Nasrul Nasri bin Ahmad Fuzi, and I'm going to show you how to answer question 8 from June 2018. Question 8. The time taken by university student to complete a statistic test normally distributed with mean 1.25 hours and a standard deviation of 15 minutes. A. Calculate the probability that a student selected at random has completed the test in less than 60 minutes. B. If 10% of the student completed the test in less than k minutes. And C. If a sample of 100 students is selected at random, find the probability that at least 75 of them completed the test in more than 1 hour. For A, we know that we're going to use a normal distribution because in the question it stated that it is normally distributed with mean 1.25 hours and standard deviation of 15 minutes. So we can use those numbers in our answer, which is mean, comma mu, equal to 125 hours and convert it to minute to 75 minutes, and standard deviation, comma, sigma equal to 15 minutes. And then we're going to use a normal distribution formula, which is random variable x distributed normally with mean 75 and sigma square, which is 15 square. So we're going to use the formula p in the bracket x less than small x equal to p in the bracket z less than small x minus mu divided by standard deviation. So we key in those number, which is p x less than 60 equal to pz less than 60 minus 75, which is mean, and 15, which is standard deviation, and we calculate it and we get -1. When we get -1, we're going to look at a statistical table at table 3, area in upper tail of normal distribution, and look for the value 1, which is 0.1587. Since this is less than 60 minutes, so we're going to take that answer, which is 0.1587. For B, the keyword is 10% and completed the test in less than k minute. So we convert the percentage into the decimal places and we got 0.1. For this question, we're going to use the same formula, normal distribution. So P in the bracket Z less than k minus mu, which is 75, our mean, and divided by standard deviation, which is 15 minutes, equal to 0.1. So after that, we're going to look for the statistical table and look for the value 0.1 in the statistical table, and we get the value 1.2816, but we're going to take only 2 decimal places, so 1.28. Since this is less than k minutes, so we change the value to a negative value, which is negative 1.28. Then we calculate it and we get the answer k, which is 55.8 minutes. Question C. we must first find probability for finishing the test more than 60 minutes equal to 1 minus 0.1587 equal to 0.8413, where we got 0.1587. We get that value from the answer at A. And now we have our new P. And then N equal to 100 because the sample was of 100 students. So for this question, we're going to use a normal distribution, but we didn't have our new mean and our new variance, so we must look for it. And then we calculate it. For mean, mu equal to N times P, so we get the answer 84.13. And for our variance, we're going to use the formula N times P times 1 minus P, and we got the answer for the variance, which is 13.35. So random variable x distributed normally with mean 84.13, 13.35, which is our variance. So since the question one, the probability that at least 75 of them, so p x more and equal to 75. But since this is a discrete case, so we must use a continuity correction to get the real value. So we use 75 minus 0.5 is equal to 74.5, because the formula stated that if it is more and equal, so it must be minus 0.5. So we key in those number, p in the bracket, z more and equal to 74.5, our new continuity correction value, and minus 84.13, our mean, divided by square root 13.35, our standard deviation, and we get the answer negative 2.64. And we took those value, that value 2.64, and look at a statistical table and search for the value 2.64, and we get the answer 0.00415. But this is more and equal, so we must use 1 minus 0.00415 equal to 0.9959. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ni'ani Sofia binti Ni'afizi, and I will be explaining the last question, which is question 9. The joint probability of random variable x and z is given by f x z equals to x plus z divided by 30 for x equals to 0, 1, 2, 3 and z equals to 0, 1, 2. So we know that this is a discrete random variable, therefore we can present the probability distribution in terms of table form, and after substituting each of x and z's value into the function, we will get these probabilities. For question A, we have to find the probability of x plus z is less than or equals to 1, and based from the table, we will only calculate the sum of these three probabilities, which are probability of x equal to 0 with z equals to 0, plus probability of x equal to 1 with z equals to 0, plus probability of x equal to 0 with z equals to 1, and lastly, the answer will be 1 over 15. Next, for question B, asked to find the marginal distribution of x and z. And referring to the table, to find the marginal distribution of x, we will have to calculate the sum vertically for each column. Meanwhile, to find the marginal distribution of z, we will have to calculate the sum horizontally for each row. Thus, these are the marginal distribution of x and z. Lastly, for question C, the expected value of x. Since we have found the marginal distribution of x in the previous question, we can use it to calculate the expected value using the formula summation of x times by probability of x. So 0 times by 3 over 30 plus 1 times 6 over 30 plus 2 times 9 over 30 and plus 3 times 12 over 30, and lastly we will get the answer would be 2.